Looking for a crease, can't find one. Stopped at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be second down. 2 minutes on the clock, second quarter, 7-0 ball game. We remind you that coming up in 2 minutes' time, we'll hand you off to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman will have highlights and analysis of this first half of action. This will be a short gain of 3 before he's brought down at the 22. Give him 3 yards on the run there. That still leaves him with a difficult 3rd and 8 coming up.
I'm here all day. Leave it, 48.
From the gun, here's Cousins. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
A good return there, 17 yards. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. And now with still more than a minute to go in what's been a tight game, you figure we'll try to see them move the ball downfield.
And remember, they get the kickoff to start the second half, so this is a golden opportunity for them to go down there and put up a couple of 6s. Back-to-back, what a momentum swing that would be.
Yeah, you might be able to get a 2-for-1 without ever even giving up the football. They work again from the 38 on 2nd and 10. Now Prescott going to take a shot for Gallup, and that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be 3rd down. So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10. Draw play, Elliott. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. 11 yards and a Cowboy 1st down. So after a good run by Zeke, another 1st and 10. Throwing, Prescott. Letting one fly deep for Cooper. And that'll wind up incomplete. Trying to give his man room to run under it, but it's 2nd down.
Another dangerous throw there, partner. I mean, he's already thrown 2 interceptions here in the first half. I don't know if you want to keep throwing up 50-50 balls when you've had that kind of lack of success.
Yeah, absolutely. Very well could have been a 3rd interception in half number 1. They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete. Defensively, Charles, they continue to really limit this offense as far as yardage goes.
Yeah, you're exactly right. They've been assignment sound, staying in their lanes, keeping proper leverage, and communicating well, too.
And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked up by Harrison Smith. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Well, partner, let's put a bow on the Super Bowl for Kansas City. What a comeback win. Yet another come-from-behind victory for Patrick Mahomes and company. An absolute heartbreak for San Francisco.
Didn't Madden predict Kansas City would win the game?
Yes, 35-31, I believe they predicted.
I felt like most of the predictions I saw had the game in the 30s, so a little bit lower scoring than we expected. But a lot of fireworks down the stretch, all by Kansas City. But how about San Francisco? Had the lead in the ball, under 12 minutes to go, and held Kansas City to 10 points through 3 quarters. And somehow they're winging their way back to San Francisco, trying to understand how they lost that game.
Yeah, not only did Kansas City win it, but they end up winning it by 11 points. They didn't see that coming at all. On 3rd down, Cousins. That'll be incomplete as the clock will stop with 14 seconds remaining. Here's Britton Colquitt now as he's on to punt for Minnesota. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. We'll call that a 49-yard punt, but a net of just 39 following the 10-yard return. And there'll be time for maybe one final play before halftime. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. He's going to wind up and air it out. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked up by the former first-rounder Trey Waynes. So 2 quarters down, 2 remain. Charles and I return after the break. Okay, Coach, appreciate it. A 1-touchdown game here as we get set to resume play in the second half. The Vikings have to like their position. They've got the lead. They get this football as well as we are back and underway for the second half.
And that drives coaches insane, doesn't it? When they see that happen, it just doesn't feel right, does it? Plus, you're giving up yardage.
Good starting field position for the Vikings as they have it 1st and 10 at the 41-yard line. A 10th carry in the game for Cook. And they're well past midfield, just a yard or 2 shy of the 40. Give them 18 there and give the Vikings a first down.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
So the ball moves from their own 41 to the other 41 here for 1st and 10. On the carry, it's Cook. And an alley to run. He's got the first down here inside the 30. Touchdown, Vikings. Dalvin Cook, 41 yards. And the Vikings are going to widen that advantage. Always important to get the first score of the second half. Now you start to pull away a little bit and get some breathing room going.
And now we find out about the fortitude of the group that's behind because they were counting on getting into the game a little bit more, right? Maybe they get the first score. That doesn't happen. It looks almost insurmountable, but it's not. Let's see how hard they play the rest of the game.
Bailey got the extra point, and that'll make the score 14-0. Bailey now to kick it away after the touchdown. That'll be taken in the end zone. And in hindsight, probably should have stayed where he was as he'll only get back to the 16-yard line.
At their own 16-yard line.
About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. And their halftime hole now even deeper, and they need a big drive here just to answer the first touchdown of the second half scored against them.
They were down at the half. Now, as you mentioned, they're down a little bit bigger, but no time for discouragement. Just got to get back to it, right? Put your shoulder against the boulder and start pushing and try and get back to where you were to start the half.
Again, it's Elliott. And he almost gets this to the 30, taken down about a yard shy. It's a gain of 12, and the Cowboys pick up the first.
A gain of 12. First down, Dallas.
Here we go.
First down, Prescott. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. The defensive end, Danielle Hunter, drops him. You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, and that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now, the question is, can this offense step up and make that play? Because that's been an issue for them in this game. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. Looking deep in the direction of Cooper. And now here's another interception. Xavier Rhodes with a pick. Cooper was the intended target. The interception woes, they just continue to mount. He's thrown 5 picks. At this point, you got to be thinking, is it something between the ears?
I think a confidence hit does occur once you start getting those numbers up there a little bit. But as you and I both know, it's not always just one guy's fault. Maybe somebody ran a wrong pattern. Maybe some balls were tipped. It could be so many different things. Bottom line, though, it comes back to the guy throwing them.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. Here's Cousins. And this is Cook with a grab. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. He'll get 15 and a Vikings first down.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defensive end dropping out in a zone blitz, he's going to win that battle just about every time.
Cousins now to throw on first down. That's complete to the receiver, Thielen. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. Chewing up big yardage. Another nice gain there. This one goes for 20. Here's Madison running on first down. And he'll lose yardage here, going down back at the 28. Defensively, it was Leighton Vander Esch up from his linebacker spot. Throwing on 2nd and 14. Cousins nowhere to escape, and he goes down. The sack by Michael Bennett, the native of tiny Independence, Louisiana. So now after the sack, Cousins and the Vikings come up here 3rd and long. 3rd down, Dalvin Cook. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line. And a loss of 3 to bring up 4th.
I enjoyed watching Robert Quinn in pregame warm-ups with you down on the field. Did it surprise you how tall and angular he is? You wouldn't think he'd be able to play against the run that well, would you?
But he can, and he showed it right there, didn't he?
That's that wrestling background he has. He understands leverage as well as anyone in the game. A big-time wrestler in high school. He didn't lose very often.
3-time heavyweight state champ in South Carolina. Good starting position for the Cowboys here as they come up 1st and 10 at their own 40. And he's going to lose yardage here as they will switch ends as time has run out on this 3rd quarter of play. And we return, welcoming you back to Minneapolis. It's the Cowboys in possession of the football, but they trail here as we begin the 4th quarter of play. Got to assume this defense will be charging again here. It's 2nd and 15. To throw is Prescott. They'll set up the screen to Elliott. 19 yards the pick up there. Move the chains.
I wonder what was going through his mind when he got the play call. He just got sacked on the previous play. He knows they're coming after him again. A little bit of guts to stand in there, take the hit, and successfully complete the screen pass. Really well done.
They go play action here on first down. He finds Randall Cobb on the completion. And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. And a nice gain of 21 yards. On 1st and 10, Prescott. Oh, he had 6 points in his hands there. Couldn't hang on. 2nd down.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. That is caught. It's Cooper for the Cowboy touchdown. Amari Cooper there to make the grab as his guys are back within a single score. The fly route works for the TD grab.
And you know what the receivers love to say? If we get even with the defender, we're leaving. And that's exactly what he did all the way into the end zone. And then he was on the business end catching it once he got over the stripe.
Now he's back out there to boom this one away, maybe with some frustration after the PAT miss. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. They're holding on right now to that slim advantage in a one-score game. And you hear a lot about 2-minute offense and 4-minute offense. Obviously, the 4-minute offense applies here. How do they run that effectively?
Yeah, really what the 4-minute offense is you're just trying to grind the clock. So you want consistent gains, steady gains. Doesn't have to be big plays, but it has to be plays that gets first downs and keeps the ball away from your opponent.
But certainly throwing the ball is in the mix here.
It certainly is. Just make sure that you're careful with it. And again, get those first downs, keep possession of the football.
That second down play nets a -4. Really good defensive effort. They were all over that little swing pass out to the right side before lost yardage.
Terrific read, better execution, and done with a lot of enthusiasm, wasn't it?
Absolutely.
They saw it all the way, ran to the football, and caused a nice play for lost yardage.
Now Cousins. And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Xavier Woods with a pick. And he brings it back to right around the 26-yard line. A critical error there in a tight game of the fourth.
All you talk about is taking care of the football, and especially with a lead here in the fourth quarter, turning it over, now the door is open for the opposition.
Just in general, when you're passing in the fourth quarter with a lead, no matter at what point, you got to be super careful.
Got to be careful, and sometimes you can be so careful that you end up running yourself into an error.
That one goes for 16 yards. It sets him up first and goal. First and goal, a touchdown and a two-point conversion here are musts. And running room hard to come by here. He gets it down to the 8. He'll get 2 out of that run, and it's going to bring up a second and goal. Here's second and goal, operating from the 8-yard line. Prescott to throw it. And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked up by Anthony Harris. And it's a good return here as he'll get all the way up close to the 35. Intended that time for Cooper. What a nightmarish game he's having now. 6 interceptions that he has thrown.
Absolutely unbelievable, isn't it? Hard to believe we're watching this and have seen it, but it just tells you about the game of football. It giveth and it taketh away.
Yeah, the guys, though, that have thrown 6 interceptions in a game, the likes of Peyton Manning, Brett Favre, I think Joe Namath, he did it 3 times. Fourth quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a one-score game. So the Vikings in possession of the football as we get you reset. They've got a second down now as they search for a way to get this one to the finish line. Now Cook. Only a gain of a couple there. That leaves them needing about 7 here on third down.
And this is an absolutely big third down that's been set up here, partner, and there's no other way to put it. The defense has to get a stop here if they have any hopes of winning this game.
Has to. You said big third down. I'd put the word big in capital letters here. Cousins. And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. Now the Cowboys going to burn the first of their timeouts, as it'll come with an even 90 seconds remaining on the clock. Here's Britton Colquitt now. He's been terrific so far. Here's Austin. That'll be put in the books as a 53-yard punt. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. They're down here in a one-score game. But the time, it's a factor, but it's not a huge factor right now, is it?
It's really not, because this amount of time gives them a chance to run their offense, to go through play sequences. And this is what they work on. Every week in practice, usually on a Friday, they go over this type of a situation, late game situation. What are we going to do when we have the opportunity? They've called these plays a bunch of times. Now's their chance to execute them.
Well, they have the opportunity now. Here's the execution. He's going to take off with it, and he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. When in doubt, do it yourself as he keeps it for 3 and a first down. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Back to throw. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's 2nd down.
Brandon, at least there's one bright side to that incompletion.
What's that?
It wasn't an interception.
Wow. You're a nice guy. That was kind of savage. But correct. No pick, just incomplete that time. A 2nd down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
Now we're in the situation where the quarterback's got to take full charge of his huddle. Got to totally command it, make sure all eyes are on him. All focus is locked in. Going to call multiple plays and go over different situations and scenarios to make sure everyone is on the same page.
Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Xavier Rhodes with a pick. And the return here will go to the 31-yard line. Cooper was the target there. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And still 2 timeouts defensively, but even if they choose to use those, 3 kneel downs should be enough to get out of here with a victory.
And that's exactly what's being stated into the head coach's headset. Oftentimes they have a guy upstairs who monitors this at the end of the game. Real clock management 101.
So the final seconds have ticked away in this Minnesota victory. And I think the game balls need to be distributed on the defensive side of the football, and I bet that you would agree.
Yeah, if you hold a team under 10 points, that's a job well done. Really well done. So I would say game balls for every starter and every key